Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm your girl Cupid, and today we're going to be getting into all about what makes you the bad guy. Why are you the bad guy right now? Okay, so I don't usually do disclaimers just because I forget, but I remembered today. So please remember that this reading is for a wide, large, unseen collective. It is impossible for me to be able to tap into the exact accurate messages for every single individual person. So please understand that this is for entertainment purposes and you are responsible for yourself. Take what resonates and leave what does not. All right? It's like when you're sitting in the classroom and the teacher's like, remember guys, no talking during the test. You know, your teacher's not calling on you specifically. It's just a general statement, and whoever it needs to apply to, it will apply to. All right? So, as always, I will have 3 images for you to choose from. After this intro, you will be able to see the images, pause the video, and meditate on which group you belong to. I want to stress that because of the way I'm doing it now, I am not looking at these images before I do the reading. I am just going 1, 2, 3. So I pick the images after the reading, and I do not pick them based on the groups. I pick them based on how I'm feeling, and I don't reference back. So make sure you use your intuition. This is an intuitive exercise, or at least that's how I perceive pick a card readings to be. It's an intuitive exercise for you and for me. Take your time, practice trusting yourself, and if it turns out that that group is not for you, you're welcome to pick another group or find a whole new reading, okay? So all that yap, we're done with that, all right? I'm going to move on to the images, and I will catch everybody at their reading. All right, group 1, welcome to your reading. You have chosen the first image. We are going to be tapping in and seeing what makes you the bad guy. Why are you a threat? Right now, yesterday, tomorrow, and to whom, right? Who's threatened by you? I'm not going to focus on that specifically, but if it comes through, then so be it. We are here for the tea, okay? So let me just take a sip of my water. I'm going to shuffle your cards, and then I'm going to catch you on the other side. Group 1. Okay. Now, let me tell you, you have definitely hurt some feelings, okay? I want to go ahead and just point out this 3 of Swords, all right? And then we have wounds, okay? So somebody is hurt, right? Somebody is hurt. Ooh, right under wounds, we got spilled milk. Somebody here is, they feel they made a mistake, right? They feel they made a mistake, but more than that, a part of them also feels like it was not that big of a deal, right? They feel like it was a small mistake. It was a simple mistake, right? Something that they feel should have been easily let go or resolved. And because you did not do that, they're taking it personal. Okay? They're taking it personal. And what I feel is that for you, it's not personal, right? Or at the very least, you're not making this a big deal. Okay? I don't know. For some of you, maybe you're not making this fallout or this whatever the situation is. Maybe for some of you, you're not making a big deal, but for others, I feel like it's more like you've moved on. Sorry. This has more to do with your boundaries and your expectations, right? How you are willing to be treated. Okay? That's what's going on here. So for you, it's not really something that you're wanting to make into this big old personal beef. You just made a judgment call in regards to someone's behavior or a situation. Okay? Right in the middle here, we have the 9 of Cups. Okay? And then at the bottom of the deck, you got the 10 of Pentacles. I heard secure. Ooh, and then right under that, the 4 of Pentacles. So you stand on your own, right? You are secure in yourself and you are fulfilled with your work, right? Whatever you're doing to create your stability, things are really solid for you. Okay? Right? Like, and remember, we're talking about what makes you the bad guy, what makes you the threat, what makes you the villain. Okay? So already you are positioned now as somebody who is willing to stand on your own, make yourself happy, right? With this 9 of Cups, you're not looking for outside validation, right? You're not looking for a bunch of cosigns, right? You co-signed yourself. You got your back, right? You're good on your own, right? Your plate is full. Your table is set. Shit is good over here, right? That's how you're moving, right? With this 10 of Pentacles, your home life could be secure. Your money could be good. And this could be all outside perception, right? You know, maybe some of this is true, but for the most part, they don't really know what you got to do. They don't really know the type of work you've put in, and they don't know if you have a 10 of Pentacles. They really don't. They don't know. For you, it might feel like an 8 of Pentacles, might feel like a 7 of Pentacles, but to them, you look like you have the 10, right? You look like all your ducks are in a row. And because you appear this way and you move this way, this is somebody who can't get over on you, right? And what do we mean by that? They can't get over on you. So let's just move on to the other thing, right? So with this 3 of Swords, I feel like maybe somebody, whoever this person is, maybe they've hurt you in the past. But I'm also getting that because of how you have cut them off, or because of how you're moving now, you may have cut them off, but because of how you're moving now, how you've responded, they're the ones hurt, right? So you're a threat and you're the bad guy because you have put them in the victim position, right? They were not trying to be. Obviously, nobody wants to be in the victim position, but it's almost like you flipped the script, right? The tables turned. I'm getting that this is somebody who tried to get over on you. They tried to manipulate you in some way, or they tried to manipulate some type of situation in their favor, or they were just doing some overall shady shit, and things got turned around back on them, right? We got this Joker here. I wanted to wait to get to this, but we got this Joker here. I will come back. But see how it's kind of like a flip, and he has these 2 guns? It's almost like this person, they thought they had you, but oops, no. They thought they were grabbing your foot, but really they grabbed their own foot, right? They thought that they were going to have you falling in the trap, but really they fell into their own trap. It's almost like whatever the outcome was not what they anticipated, and it flipped back on them. They wanted to point the finger at you or point the smoking gun at you, but all they did was inadvertently somehow pointing it to themselves, okay? So we'll get back to that, okay? But at the bottom of the deck, when you got this 3 of Swords, we also got the Chariot. So I'm getting like you moved in a different direction, right? You switched course. You changed course. All right. This person sees you as somebody who has moved away. You've gone away. You're far away. You are not only unreachable, but you're getting further and further away as time goes on. Their ability to catch you, right? You guys are no longer aligned in a lot of sense. So maybe this is somebody where before maybe you guys had similar trajectories or you were doing the same thing. But then after all of this happened, you went in another direction, or they found, right? Maybe that was the flip. Maybe that was the flip. They realized, oh, you're actually doing something else. You're actually on something else. They didn't know you were on that. They didn't know that you were playing that type of game. They didn't know that your goals were like this. They didn't know what you were headed towards, but they thought they knew. Right? And so you're the bad guy because you're kind of on your own path. Right? I'm also looking at this like, I don't know if you can see it, this little red, it looks almost like flames or like a glow coming out from the horse's eyes. So I'm getting like a trailblazer, right? You're blazing a trail. This person wanted you to be predictable, but you weren't, right? They wanted to be able to catch you up on something, but they ended up realizing like, oh shit, I'm the one tripping, right? They tripping over their own feet, trying to play you like you're predictable, but you never were, right? They didn't realize what it was that you were on. And look, right underneath that we got judgment. And you almost see like all these you see these zombies coming out of their graves, right? So I'm hearing bite them in the ass. Something, whatever they were doing came back to bite them. It came back on them, right? Whatever decision they made, whatever little mistake they thought, was forgivable, it's coming back to bite them in the ass because lo and behold, shit's not playing out how they want it to play. That's what I'm getting here. Things are not playing out how they wanted them to play or thought they were going to play. And so they're kind of hurt, right? They're in their feelings, right? With these wounds, right? They're constantly probably thinking, this person is constantly thinking about how they're feeling right now and what happened. And it's like they can't let it go because it hurts, because they did not want to be the one in pain. They didn't mind that you would be the one in pain, right? They didn't care if you were going to be the one with all the swords in your heart, right? I'm getting stabbed in the back, so this could be a betrayal of some sort, right? A lie, somebody lying. It could be harsh words said. But yeah, they were okay with you being the one hurt. But now that it's them, they can't let it go. Now that it's them, they have a problem. But I feel like at the end of the day, it was them. It was them that betrayed somehow or overstepped a boundary or something. Okay? We have the 9 of Wands here, right? 9 of Wands. That's already about putting up walls. It's already about protection. It's already about guarding yourself and putting distance. So this person, they see you as the villain because you've put distance between you and them, right? They wanted to hurt you and still have access. Okay? The card says rule number 5. Anyone that strikes another crew member while these rules are in force shall receive 30 lashes with the whip. Rule 5. Conflict. Right? So, like I said before, this person sees you as a villain because their actions had consequences. Right? You're the bad guy because they broke a rule. Right? And maybe it wasn't like this super explicit stated rule, but they did something that quite frankly they should not have done. Notice how the wording says anyone that strikes another crew member, somebody on your team, right? So this could have been a friend. This could be a lover. This could be a family member, co-worker. This was somebody who was supposed to be working with you, but they wanted to have conflict with you. And because they had conflict with you, or attempted to orchestrate some type of conflict, or they instigated some type of conflict, you acted accordingly, right? You implemented some consequences. And the consequence, it looks like, is distance, right? You put distance between them and you with that Chariot. And they're upset because of how they're upset with you, not just because you put up the boundaries, but because of who you are doing it, right? Remember, you are secure. You don't need them to co-sign you. I heard bad bitch. When I think of 9 of Cups, I mean, sometimes I just think of a bad bitch, right? You don't need a group, right? There's something about how you validate yourself, or just the way they perceive you. They perceive you as somebody who validates themselves, somebody who is not looking and seeking to have other people give you a round of applause. You do it yourself. You're proud of yourself, right? It's almost like if you look at this, it's like they're displaying, right? They're displaying everything that they've done, all their trophies, all their wins, all their successes, right? Look what I've done. Look what I've built. And you're not saying look at it to nobody but you. You are admiring what you've done. You are looking at what you've done and what you've got and how you've gotten there. And it makes you more proud of yourself and more secure, right? You believe in you. You know you can do it. So when people betray you, or when people play dirty with you, you're not looking at the situation like, oh no, what am I going to do? Who am I going to hang out with? I don't know. What am I still want to hang out. I still want to be friends. You're not thinking about that because you're not lonely, right? You're not hungry for outside validation. You say, you know what? That person doesn't respect me, so I'm going to leave them alone. You say, no, you know what? That person isn't treating me right. I'm going to leave them alone. You say, you know what? That person might not like me, so I'm going to leave them alone. Right? And see, that's where this backfire comes from, right? Notice this is the Joker card. They wanted you to be the Joker, but they're the Joker, right? They wanted to play silly games, and they're surprised they got a silly-ass prize, okay? Right? Like I said, they wanted to point the smoking gun at you, so maybe they tried to blame you for something, or they tried to pin something on you, or make you out to be something, but all it did was reveal them. And they feel very silly, right? You're the bad guy because this person feels silly. This person feels like a child, childish, right? Right underneath this card, we have Captain Kidd. That's an Ace of Cups, but, you know, I'm not going to worry about that. I'm focused on the Captain Kidd. And you have this image of this silly, goofy looking kid. I don't want to, because this is a real person it looks like, so I don't want to get on this person. But it's a silly looking image, right? I can't really take it seriously. And so this person, that's how they feel. They feel childish. They feel like they look silly. They feel like you can't take them seriously. They can't take themselves seriously. It's almost like they can't even, they're thinking about why they did that. It's something here like they're like racking their brain like, why did I do that? Why did I do that? Okay? Then here we have illusions matter. So, and then at the bottom of the deck, we have footprints are a symptom of action. So, oh, and there's another card underneath here. I'm going to pull it in just a second. With this illusions matter, I feel like this person tried to rewrite a story somehow, right? They tried to manipulate something. They tried to lie about something or fabricate some type of narrative, right? They tried to get you caught up in some type of illusion, okay? And what they found was that there was way too much evidence for you to believe them, right? Or there was way too much evidence for them to for them to get over on you or for you to let it go, right? There were all these clues, all these little actions, all these little footprints left behind from their behavior or from what they've done, that the illusion was shattered. Right underneath that, we have love is a choice. And so I'm hearing you decided not to love them anymore, or at least that's how they feel, right? They feel as if it was like a switch on and off, right? And it's almost, what I'm getting here is that for them, they didn't realize that you could choose. It's like they didn't realize that you could choose whether to keep loving them or not. All right? And that's what makes you a bad guy. All right? We got drama. We're going to do these last two cards. So we have drama, and then we also have protection. Okay? So, like I said, we already know what that nine of wands, and we know with this chariot, that you put distance between you and them. And you did it to protect yourself, right? You did it because you saw and felt what this person was trying to do. They were trying to hurt you, right? They were using this drama, or they were creating drama to hurt you. And because you put up these boundaries, because you've protected yourself, because you're really not going to fall for the tricks, you're the bad guy. All right? So, I'm going to leave it right there, group one. I really hope you enjoyed this reading. This was actually super, super fun. If you enjoyed it in any capacity, make sure to give this video a thumbs up. Feel free to leave a comment. And if you would like to be notified whenever I post new videos, then make sure to subscribe and ring that notification bell. Bye, group one. Hi, group two. Welcome to your reading. I'm super excited. We're going to be getting into all about what makes you the bad guy, right? Why are you the villain? What makes you a threat? All right. So go ahead, get your little drinky drink. I'm going to shuffle your cards, and I will catch you on the other side. Group two. So I want to go ahead and say that there is some similarity here, a little bit, with group one. So if you felt called to watch both groups, then you totally should. That is so allowed. All right. But I just want to point that out, that there is that connection here. Group two. I feel like this is somebody who wants to date you, right? This is somebody who wants access to you in an emotional way. Okay. I want to just start here, first of all, with this Four of Cups and then this Nine of Cups. All right. This was the Nine of Cups also came out in group one. And what I'm getting here is that you're selective. Okay. You're not in a rush to be in a connection, right? You're not in a rush to be in a commitment. And with this Nine of Cups, it's clearly because you're all set, right? You can fulfill yourself, right? And this can mean a lot of things. This could just mean that you are secure in your confidence, or you're secure in your looks, or you're secure in whatever way that makes you feel like, you know what, I'm good. I don't need to settle. All right. And with the Four of Cups, I do see you dating, right? In fact, with both of these, because you're pouring out the cup. And in here, it almost looks like, yeah, like they're pouring these two cups out. So you could be dating casually or just whenever you feel like it, right? You might not really be prioritizing dating, but if you happen to go on a date or get invited to a date, or somebody, sparks a little interest, you'll give it a little time, right? You'll entertain it a little. But if you're not immediately moved, you're not gonna stop there, right? That's what I'm getting. I'm getting like solo dolo. You're not gonna just stop there because you went on a date with them and they like you, right? And you're not gonna stop there just because you slept with them, right? I'm getting this energy like you're the bad guy because you are still kind of looking, or you're still a free agent, is what I'm getting, right? Somebody is seeing you as the villain because you're willing to explore other options, or even more specifically, you're not interested in them as an option, right? Because this Four of Cups also kind of points out some type of indifference. Like, yeah, I got this in front of me, but it's not really what I'm looking for, right? Like, yes, this person is cute, but it's not exactly what I'm looking for, all right? At the bottom of the deck over here, you got the Ace of Wands. So you're creative, you're attractive, you're passionate, right? You're out here just having fun. I'm getting somebody who wants to be inspired, somebody who wants to, have these different experiences, right? And you are willing to go with the flow of those experiences, right? Like if a new idea, or if what, what I'm saying, like you're willing to follow your passion, right? That's even more of this energy of just like not being willing to just settle or stay put just because something is okay, right? And that's why I'm getting this person kind of wanting from you, even though they may not say that. That's kind of what they wanted, right? They wanted you to just be okay with things being all right or good, but they didn't really care that for you it was not a done deal. Like for you it was just kind of lukewarm. It was all right, right? But that's not enough to stop your show. That's not enough to stop your party. You know what I mean? We also have this Five of Pentacles here, and so this could actually point to a lot of things. So, maybe you felt like you weren't ready for a relationship, or you didn't have enough resources, or maybe this is about the connection not really having much going for it, or it could just be this person seeing you as the bad guy because you did not put in enough, right? They almost feel left out in the cold by you, right? You didn't invest enough. They wanted you to invest more in them. They wanted you to give more to them. And because either you didn't want to give more, or there was not more to give, either way, it's like they're kind of holding it against you that this could not go anywhere, right? So I do feel like there is some type of financial struggle aspect, but it doesn't have to be that you're struggling financially or they're struggling financially. It's almost just coming off of like what was able to be given or what was provided in this connection. This person, they feel like you just didn't give enough. And for you, maybe you didn't have enough to give, and that's why you didn't. And I'm going to get to that too, right? There's something here where you didn't really have much to give them, and it was partially just because of where you were, but also maybe, like I said, it was lukewarm for you. You can't really fake the funk. You can't really give more to a situation that you don't have, right? They want more affection and you don't like them that much, so you can't. They want more time, but you're busy. They want more sex, but you're not really into them like that, or they don't turn you on like that, or y'all are not into the same kind of relationship, really. So they wanted something from you that it just wasn't viable to give, is what I'm giving. But they're upset, they're a little salty, and I feel like it's because to them you give to other people. Look at how you're pouring out your cup in these other cups. This person has this vision in their head of you dating other people and enjoying it more. And maybe you do, right? But it's like they're salty about the fact that you didn't want to stop with them, is what I'm getting, right? They're salty about the fact that, yeah, you dated them, you spoke to them, y'all hung out, y'all did whatever, but it was cool, but not what you're really looking for. And so they see you kind of like dating other people or talking to other people or giving chances to other people, however you really want to name it or, frame it. And so in a lot of ways, they just kind of feel like you could have gave more to them, is what I'm getting. Next here we have this King of Pentacles, and it says Edward Teach. He was nicknamed Blackbeard for all of his facial hair. He was one of the most dreaded and despised pirates of all time. So already this person despises you, right? They despise you. And you want to know why? Because you stabbed them in the heart. You broke their heart. You hurt their feelings, right? That's why they hate you and despise you and dread you, because you broke their heart. Notice how he has this cup in his hand, right? This king, he has a cup in his hand and kind of holding it away. And so this person, they despise you because you kind of kept your heart from them, right? You kept your affection from them and it hurt their feelings, right? It broke their heart. Now, you could be older than them, right? With that King of Pentacles. You could be a teacher of some sort. This could be more about this person learning a lesson. And this could also be about you making calculated moves, right? You're learning as you go. And I do feel like this person, even though they might see you as a bad guy, they have or they are learning lessons from them, from this. Very valuable lessons, okay? And I really feel like with this Pentacles coming through again, this King of Pentacles, you were somebody who, I heard budget, right? With that Five of Pentacles, right? Budget. Even though, like, I don't want to think like, oh, you didn't have it. It's not like necessarily you didn't have it, but you were strategically controlling your resources or managing your resources, right? Like I said, like maybe you just didn't have enough to give them, okay? That could be for various reasons. And one of them is that maybe you didn't have enough to give them because they're not the one you wanted to give to. But they see that as like really strategic and kind of heartless, is what I'm getting. Here we have Richard Worley. It says he set out from New York with an ill crew and carried few supplies. They captured a boat laden with household goods. So you're innovative, you're strategic, and I'm getting that, yeah, maybe you didn't have much to give them. I'm also getting somebody kind of nomadic, somebody who is kind of moving freely, right? I said free agent, solo dolo. So you might like to, like I said, go where your passion leads. You like to kind of be free. And if it's not a situation where you're like, oh yes, absolutely, then you're not going to stop your journey to camp out with them, okay? And that's something that has them really salty with you, because it's almost like they want to be on this journey with you, right? They want to be on this boat with you. We have this card here, Eight of Pentacles, pirate ship, but it was in reverse right underneath. And so they're upset. Oh, and then right under that we have Blackbeard, right? Which is about Blackbeard. Five of Cups. Ooh, this person's really disappointed because they were not able to get access to you the way they wanted to, right? They weren't able to ride your boat. They weren't able to hop on your ship and go on this journey with you. Worldly, it makes me think of worldly, right? Like I said, you may be somebody who likes to travel, or somebody who has traveled, somebody who has moved or moves in different directions that takes you away from people. And if, like I said, if they're not the one, you're not going to halt or alter your plans for them. But I am seeing you willing to find the one, but you're also not going to force it. All right. Here we have a great traveler is attentive to their surroundings. So that's that traveler again, right? You're somebody who moves freely, right? You're somebody who is seeking opportunity and seeking passion and enjoyment, inspiration, right? You could be an artist of some sort, but you're attentive to your surrounding, meaning you have discernment, you pay attention, you're strategic, right? You're sizing them up. You're not just hopping in and falling in lust and love. You're assessing your situation and making strategic moves. Is this the person that I want to keep hanging out with? Do I want to keep seeing this person? Is my life better? Is this person a companion? Do we have are our goals aligned, right? If I'm with them, do I have to stop and change all of my plans, or is this somebody who can be integrated? You're really thinking this through, and they really hate that. We have here truth, like pain, demands to be heard. And so what makes you the bad guy is that this truth about you cannot be ignored, right? This truth about you cannot be manipulated or changed, right? And it does cause this person pain. I feel like this person wants you to feel their pain. Like I said, truth, just like pain, demands to be heard. So it's almost like they're saying, yeah, that's your truth, but this is mine. And mine is that you hurt me. Mine is that, you broke my heart. Maybe they feel like you lied to them. And for some of you, maybe you did. I'm not seeing whether you are a liar or not on this table. I am only really seeing the unalignment of who you are and how you felt about them, right? We have start over that's right underneath this, right? So for them, it's like, what makes you the bad guy is that you were so willing to move on. You were so willing to move forward, and I don't want to say you didn't think anything of it, but you definitely didn't let it hold you back. This person may not know you very well, is what I'm getting, because we have character here at the bottom of the deck. And I feel like it's because this person, they're trying to figure out your character, okay? They're trying to figure out what type of person you are. And high key, I think it may be because they want to control you. And they might be watching you, because we had watch right underneath that, right? So this person, they may be lurking on your socials. They just might be in similar places as you, and they always kind of keep an eye on you. But I'm seeing this person may have a control issue, right? And this could be due to abandonment, fear of rejection, what have you, right? There's a myriad of reasons that can have somebody in this kind of energy. But what they hate is that you protected yourself from them, right? You did not bind yourself to them, right? I'm thinking of like a condom, right? You didn't do something that would have you, basically tied to them forever, right? This person, you're the bad guy because, like I said, you're not willing to put up with them, or you're not willing to be what they want you to be. You're the bad guy because there is some type of protection up between you and them, and it could just be the distance, right? It could be just the distance is what's protecting you from them, but they see that it's like, I feel like they're trying to slander your character, maybe to somebody, or just to themselves. They could just be in their own head calling you this and calling you that. But I'm definitely getting somebody who, they really don't know who you are, and they're trying to figure out, they're trying to guess, and they're also trying to like determine it for you, because at the end of the day, they want control. And I feel like this person, they liked you and they wanted the situation to go in another direction, and they're just really disappointed that it didn't. I do feel like this person Um, they wanted to maintain contact, and they weren't able to. I'm getting a nomadic energy of somebody who moves forward regardless, and you're not going to stop unless it is the love of your fucking life. All right? So that's why you're the bad guy, group 2. If you enjoyed this reading, make sure to give this video a thumbs up. Feel free to leave a comment, and if you would like to be notified whenever I post new videos, then make sure to subscribe and ring that notification bell. Bye, group 2. Hi, group 3. Welcome to your reading. I'm super excited. We're going to get right into what makes you the bad guy, right? Why are you the villain? Why are you a threat? All right. So I'm going to go ahead and shuffle your cards, and I will catch you on the other side. Right, group 3. Group 3. I'm gonna be honest. You're not showing up like a threat, okay? You're really not showing up like a threat, okay? So let's just start off with the person or people who are seeing you this way. These people simply don't like how nice or kind or good you are. Okay? They don't like it. When they see you do the right thing, when they see you display good character, when they see you receive praise, or when they see the outcome of your actions, which is good, they get upset. Right? And they feel some type of way because it reveals about them. We have this Knight of Cups here. And then we also had this Fool at the bottom of the deck. Okay? And so I feel like your appearance is unassuming. I feel like you are very charming. You may be described as kind or sweet often, right? I'm also focused on how this Knight of Cups is literally presenting a cup. And so you could be somebody that gifts, right? You gift things, right? So if this is your coworker, maybe you bring things into work. Maybe you bring in food for people to taste, or you bring in snacks, or you bring you do things, right? You bring your kindness to the table, and it irks them, right? It irks this person. I'm really seeing this person as a Queen of Pentacles right here. So they could be a bit older than you. They could have a bit more experience than you, right? In some ways, maybe they feel like they should be the authority, okay? But they're not able, or maybe it's like there's something about how you behave or who you are that makes them look bad, or it makes them feel like they look bad, right? It makes them feel like they are not doing enough, or that they could be doing more, right? And they don't expect this because they see you as the Fool. They see you as somebody with less experience. They see you as somebody naive, right? You could also be optimistic, right? Your character is optimistic or uplifting. And they don't like that, right? At the bottom of the deck, we have the Six of Cups with this little girl holding all of these cups, right? And all these cups have these flowers in them. And I don't really know what these flowers are called, but that's how they see you. Oh, and then right underneath that, we have this Queen of Swords. And then we also have this King of Swords here. And so this person really doesn't know who or what you have in your corner, right? I said unassuming. So they don't like that they really can't predict you, right? They don't like that they really cannot pin you down. It's almost like like when they first met you or saw you, they decided you were one way. They decided you were weak. They decided you were soft, right? Because you're so willing to give compliments, give help, give uplifting statements, give gifts, bring snacks, maybe even take on extra work, right? They saw you almost like a sucker, okay? And with this Queen of Pentacles, it's like they felt like, I don't know, I'm really focused just on her face. It's this weird grin and this thinking look. This person thinking, how can they use this, right? How can they use this to their advantage? But it's almost like they didn't expect you to have defenses. They didn't expect you to have protection. Protection has been like a theme through all three of these readings, right? But I see here you protect yourself through strategy, right? When I see this Queen of Swords, I'm focused on like this glowing necklace. And it makes me think of the necklace from... what is it called? The Little Mermaid, right? And how the queen, or the evil sea witch, she put the necklace on and it was able to change her appearance. And so this person, it's almost like your protection is your appearance, right? And this person, because they can only see your outward self, maybe you're petite, maybe you look young for your age, or you are younger than them, right? Because they can only perceive this outside appearance, they made these assumptions about who you were and what you could do and what they could get away with when it came to you. But what they're finding is that you're actually a lot more strategic than they gave you credit for, right? We have this King of Swords. It says, Henry Morgan, a Welsh privateer who made a name in the Caribbean as a leader of buccaneers and roughnecks, right? A Welsh privateer who made a name in the Caribbean as a leader of buccaneers and roughnecks. So what I'm getting here is that this person, they may be a leader of some sort. They may want to be a leader. They may see themselves as a leader, but you're also a leader in your own right, right? You also are handling business in your own right. And so this makes me think of like this person's background. This person doesn't know your background, right? This person really doesn't know your ability. This person really doesn't know what you've done before they came on the scene. And they hate that they are coming off as the one who's immature. It's like something that has happened in your scenario. It has caused this person to feel like they are now the one who looks like the amateur. They're now the one who looks like a subordinate or a follower, right? Or somebody who needs more experience, okay? And they really don't like that. They don't like that someone like you is able to make them look bad, right? And I heard, stupid dog, you made me look bad, right? So like this person, they want to blame you for how they look, right? You made them look bad. You made them come off a certain way when really that was all them. They were the ones plotting and scheming and making assumptions about people. You weren't. In fact, you were coming with all types of good energy, communal energy, right? Bringing positivity and affection and openness and empathy, right? You're bringing that to the table. And maybe something has happened between you, and they don't like that they have to give you what you're owed, right? They don't like how you are the one coming out on top, right? You're receiving some type of payout. And I say that because we have this Two of Swords, right? They didn't see this coming with the Two of Swords. They were like, oh, it's going to be either this or that. They thought they were going to have you cornered somehow. They thought they were about to force you into something. But what they didn't see was rule number 8. Rule number 8 says, if anyone loses a finger or a toe in a battle, they shall be given 400 pieces of 8. And if they lose an arm or a leg, they shall have 800 pieces. So this person wanted you to suffer some type of loss, right? Or this person was watching as you suffered some type of loss, and they thought that that was just going to be the end of you. And they're upset because once this thing happened, it actually entitled you to something, right? If anyone loses a finger or a toe, if they lose an arm or a leg. So maybe this person could have said something like break a leg. Maybe this person, they wanted something bad to happen to you, right? They wanted you to have some type of negative situation come up. And maybe something did come up. But like I said, they didn't expect you to receive a payout. And I feel like this scenario made them look, even if nobody knew what they did, or even if nobody was even paying attention to them, it's almost like how they look at themselves, how they see themselves has now been altered, and they feel very foolish. They feel like they are immature and dumb. And like I said, it makes them feel like they don't know as much as they think they know. All right? And I think the worst part for them is that you're not even caught up in it. You're not holding anything against them. You're not making their actions your business, is what I'm getting. And that's because we have forgive at the bottom of the deck. And then we have different. Hold on. I just noticed something. Right underneath forgive, we had strategists. So see, something that they don't understand, something that makes you both different, is that they don't understand the power of kindness, right? My mom always says, you catch more flies with honey. You're more likely to get what you want when you have positive energy, right? You're more likely to attract what you want when you're attractive, right? When you're sweet, right? And so you are somebody who is playing a different type of game, right? You're playing a different type of game than this person. This person, they want to be low down. They want to snake people. Meanwhile, you're getting the same or better results by bringing good to the table, right? By being approachable. Like I said, by being communal, caring for others, right? It's something about that that's different from them that has them really bitter and salty, all right? And then we have learn more. Like I said before, they feel like they don't know enough, right? Whatever has happened between y'all, or, whatever this situation is pointing to, it's like, it's so glaring to them that they did not know as much as they thought they did, right? Somewhere here they jumped to a conclusion about what they could get away with you, about who you were, about how you would respond to things. And when you didn't respond that way, all it did was reveal the cracks in their judgment, their flaws, the flaws in their mindset. All right? And I feel like this is something that they are really dealing with internally, right? Because we have grief is good for the body. So this person is really grieving whatever this is, right? This person is really going through it. And I think it's because I think what they're grieving is this perception of themselves that is larger than life, or larger than others, or better than others, or more experienced. It's almost like they have to grieve this idea that they know it all. And they have to accept that they really don't know it all. And it is exactly that mentality of thinking that they know everything that had them in this Two of Swords position where they really couldn't see. They couldn't see what was really going to happen. Okay? It's almost like they put themselves in a corner via their mindset. And that's why they're so, like I said, salty about you in this situation. It's like they wanted you to be this little kid or this little girl or this immature, weak whoever that they could push around, boss around, throw dirt on, or scapegoat, right? Use as a scapegoat. I'm not exactly sure what happened. And so you guys let me know in the comments, what's going on. But it's like this person, you're the bad guy to them because you make them look bad. Because you make it very obvious that they have so much more to learn. All right? So that's all I have for you today, Group 3. I really, really hope you guys enjoyed this reading. I did. This was a pretty fun night for me. If you enjoyed it in any capacity, make sure to give this video a thumbs up. Feel free to leave a comment. And if you would like to be notified whenever I post new videos, then make sure to subscribe and ring that notification bell. Bye, Group 3.